Episode 4. Here's Looking at You. Get your MX! Get your MX! The boy shouts, holding today's drop of the MX newspapers. I've just finished uni. I'm heading home from Central Station in Sydney. I quickly grab one as I hop on the train that's just arrived on the platform, the doors closing behind me. I settle into a seat and look out the window as the train pulls away from the station. I open the MX newspaper to the back page to find my favourite section. The MX was a free afternoon tabloid printed and distributed at train stations in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane. It focused on light entertainment, lifestyle and news. On one of the back pages was a small column called Here's Looking at You. It was much like Misconnections. Readers would write little notes to strangers that they'd spotted on public transport that they were attracted to, in the hope of a reply or just to anonymously compliment them. Every day I eagerly read the column, a part of me hoping that there may be one for me, but that never happened. Instead, I revelled in the magic of almost love stories unfolding between strangers. It read, "To the beautiful brunette in the yellow shirt who got off at North Sydney Station. I'm the guy in the blue and white striped shirt. We often take the same carriage. Coffee sometime?" Another message said, "To the old couple on the 86 tram on Tuesday afternoon, you made my day. Love has no boundaries. The world isn't a bad place after all." I smiled, staring out the window. Reading these hopeful messages of love restored my faith in humanity. I wonder, how would a column like this be received today? Would it be seen as romantic, flirty, cute serendipity? Or has society shifted so much that it would be considered creepy, stalking, or invasive? I often hear stories about dating culture today, driven by apps, swipes, and algorithms. I wonder how much of our ideas of connection, privacy, and romance have changed. Back then, it felt bold and romantic, putting yourself out there in the pages of the MX for the whole country to see. But today, would it still be seen as charming or doing too much? We've become so cautious, more enclosed, maybe with good reason. But it does make me wonder, in protecting ourselves from the uncomfortable, are we also shutting down those beautiful chance connections? There's a famous quote by Kurt Vonnegut. It goes, "I tell you, we are here on earth to fart around, and don't let anybody tell you any different." I know, it sounds a bit strange, but hear me out. Kurt needed to mail some documents, so he heads to the store to buy an envelope. On the way, his wife asks why he doesn't just buy a 100-pack and keep it in his office so he wouldn't have to go out every time he needed one. Ignoring her, he takes the trip anyway, dancing on the way out the door. On the way, he stops to chat with a woman about the breed of her dog. He stops as a fire engine drives by and gives a thumbs up to the fireman as he passes. And finally, he arrives at the store and has a lovely exchange with the woman behind the counter. Two of the largest parts of our brain are devoted to the most sensitive parts of our body, our fingertips and our tongue. And the simple act of sealing his envelope alone engaged the largest parts of his brain. At the end of the day, he heads home, describing it as a hell of a good time. That, he explains, is the true meaning of life. It's in these tiny serendipitous moments that life is made. One afternoon during the school holidays in 2024, I'm at the shopping centre with my girls, letting them burn off some energy before nap time. Serene, my youngest, is one, And, as usual, I'm trying to stay calm while she copies her older sister's moves on the play equipment, far too advanced for her age. Next to them, I notice the cutest baby boy lying on the floor, the roundest little head I've ever seen. I look up and his mum notices me and smiles between bites of her snack. She asks how old Serene is. One comment leads to another, and before you know it, we're swapping stories about sleepless nights, breastfeeding, and the little joys and chaos of motherhood. That short, spontaneous conversation has turned into a beautiful friendship over the last year. And all of it started because I looked up. Just noticed the people around me instead of being buried in my phone or lost in my own thoughts. Since becoming a mum, I've been forced to look up. At the park, at the library, not for romance like in the MX, but because my kids are one step away from falling off a slide or pulling down the shelves. And in those moments, I've stumbled into conversations, friendships, little sparks with strangers that I probably would have missed if I was scrolling, or even if I was just head down in my own world. It makes me wonder, what else are we all missing, just because we are so wrapped up in our own lives? I write this today as someone who's often guilty of not being present. Sleepless nights, exhaustion, life goals, fitness goals, grocery shopping, cooking, laundry, the list goes on. I'm not some saint walking around phone free. I'm on my phone, I use social media, or probably more than I should. But over the last couple of years, I've made a conscious effort to look up a little more, to say hi, to engage with the moment, to actually talk to the strangers around me. And honestly, it's had such a positive impact on my life. I've had conversations that brighten my day, made friends I never would have otherwise, and I look forward to many more. So maybe the real lesson from Here's Looking at You isn't just nostalgia, and it isn't just romance. It's a reminder that life feels fuller when we notice each other. And with that, I leave you with this week's Serenaid, Idea 10 by Gibran Alcocer.